welcome to the 9642 podcast. This is your host, Mr. NumberNine.
And this is the Fool.
This is where me and the Fool give our
Unqualified and unrequested.
ramblings on the various issues in the world of sport.
Or something like that.
Hello everyone, we are doing our long overdue podcast on the Olympics today.
Yeah.
The 2024 Paris Games that totally went by without any effort or any incident whatsoever.
Yeah, no, they actually, I think they're mostly okay.
Yeah.
For the Olympics, I mean.
Yeah. Like, it was fine for us, the viewers, I guess, not so much for the athletes.
Yeah. So, for the Olympics, it was pretty good, really.
Yeah.
There's always something.
There is always something. This was also like a multi-area Olympics because they had the surfing in French Polynesia and Tahiti.
Yeah, and the sailing was down in Marseille, Nice.
Down in Marseille? Yeah, which is interesting. I would have thought they would have gone to Brest or something. So, like, at least that's sort of closer to Paris, but I guess like a second city.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can only host in, like, coastal cities, I suppose, if you were to be strict about that.
So Marseille's on the Mediterranean as well, so that's plenty of sailing in there.
Yeah. The games, like I said, I enjoyed watching the games. What little I could catch of it. The time zones were not the best. What did you think about the opening ceremony?
I actually liked it. I stayed up and watched most of it. I really enjoyed it.
I thought it was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
I know it was controversial, but I thought I got the joke.
Yeah, I'd say I got what they were going for, and I thought it was quite good. I know, there was a little bit of gnashing of teeth and wailing at all, but I thought it was quite good, and I got the joke. Same with you. Like, it was just, I thought it was funny.
Yeah. Like, also the triathletes getting sick from swimming in the Seine River. Yeah, that I also got that joke. That was fun.
Yeah, I thought that perhaps wasn't quite as funny.
That was just a prank.
It was just a prank. That was just silly. Like, that whole thing. It was,
Maria could swim there, therefore it was fine.
It was fine,
right?
fine. Despite the fact that it was clearly not going to be fine for, like, months ahead of time. Yeah. And they could have, like, moved somewhere else. At all in France. It's not like they already had events throughout France, so not like they could be, like, 2 months ahead of time, like, we're just going to do it this place. And it's France. I haven't looked, but I'm assuming they have plenty of, world-level lakes and facilities. Like, triathlons are world events. They have a world circuit. Do they not have a French top? I'm assuming they do. I haven't looked, but I don't see why they wouldn't. They have one of the best, their French guys came third and fourth. Like, they've got some of the best triathletes in the world. Surely they have facilities.
You would have hoped so.
Yeah.
But, it's France. Maybe that was also a prank. Just a prank, bro.
Maybe. It's hard to tell.
This is the thing. So, my daughter's class all had to do a project on the Olympics. And their project, instead of studying how this sport got into what's it about, or how this particular Olympic movement started, was all about what were the problems in the Olympics and how you would fix it. And they had so many to pick from.
And I think they had all really good solutions.
It was actually a more viable, inquiry project than...
Yeah, and I feel like, a class of 7-year-olds would have come up with, like, very obvious and simple solutions that could have been worked through.
Yeah, it seems like, because my daughter was, like, designing the bedroom for the athletes. She was like, how about beds that are comfortable for people to sleep on, and we test them before to see if they're comfortable. But, like, get actual athletes to sleep on them so we know that they're suitable for athletes. And I'm just like, bro, this is clearly not something that they did. The Olympic Committee just did not do this.
Look, your daughter does not have a future in the Olympic Committee, the IOC. It's just not going to happen, the IOC. So she cannot be part of that anymore. Yeah. It's quashed. She's
memes.
Yeah. She's too straight thinking. She solves problems. Not gonna work.
Yeah. Like, she was just like, why didn't they solve it this way? And I'm like, your guess is as good as mine, buddy.
Yeah. Good question. Why didn't they?
And like, there's some other people doing like, this is how we'd make the menu. This is how we would make the swimming pools deeper so we could get faster swim times. I'm just like, man, these guys, let these kids cook, man.
Exactly.
But to be fair, there's a lot of things I think like 7 to 9-year-olds are better at than adults when it comes to like ideas and thinking outside the box.
Yeah, it's straightforward problem solving. Like the simple things. Like, why do we do this? Good question. Why not? It's just,
you know, like they used to have those taco ads where the little boy's like, why don't we make it flat in the bottom, and everybody's like, racing and such.
Exactly.
Or why not both? And you're like, yeah.
Why not?
Let him cook. Yeah. I didn't know we would be bringing back a meme from 2005, but yeah, it seemed appropriate.
It definitely seemed appropriate. I'm all with it.
But problems aside, I think we are probably happier as a country about these Olympics. Our best ever performance on the medal table.
Yeah, no.
Most gold.
Most golds. No, definitely. I think it might be our most medals. Maybe Tokyo just picked them for most medals. Definitely.
Yeah, and we got a bunch of track and field medals, which always feel like the good medals.
Yeah, exactly. No, we definitely got more golds. It's the most golds we've won. I'm pretty sure it's the most medals we've won. So maybe, I'd have to look, maybe it was just picked by 2020 in Tokyo, but not by much.
I think it's also our best position in the medal table, like we were
definitely.
12th.
11th. No, we got above Canada at the end, which was great. So yeah, no, we ended up 11th. You know, almost top 10.
Yeah.
Needed probably 3 more medals to get to the top. 3 more gold medals to get to the top 10. Germany initially had 12 gold medals, but they had a whole lot more silver and bronzes. So they would have pipped us on the countbacks just by getting 2 more. We'd have to get 3 more gold medals to leapfrog them. And then we were being South Korea. South Korea was 8th with 13 gold, 9 silver, and 10 bronze.
South Korea always got a bunch of golds because there's a bunch of sports they're amazing at, like archery.
Yeah, and shooting.
And
all the shooting ones. Taekwondo and judo, obviously.
There was some great memes. What was your favorite meme from the Olympics? That's not like a controversy meme, like, you know, like athletes doing something cool meme.
Oh, I can't think of one off the top of my head, actually.
I like the Turkish shooter, just
yes! No, that was awesome, yeah.
Just because he was so casual. It's just like, bang, 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 and then walks out, has a smoke, comes back, bang, 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 and you're like... Has anybody looked into this guy's background? Like, is he not a hitman? But I know he's actually a police officer. But
police officer. But yeah, it's like, he had an actual cool backstory as well. Like, he was the coolest guy. Oh, actually, just looking at the memes, see a good one, which is like Jules and Vincent, Pulp Fiction, you know, shooting everyone, and him just beside them, looking exactly the same.
Yeah, because there's also the really cool South Korean lady who had like the eye patch and everything, and looked like, you know, like an anime character going out to shoot. They also liked that he was basically like, you know, I like the memes, but you know, I don't need to wear any of the things that calm you down, like that keep you from shaking, because you know I shoot to relax. This is my hobby. I only wear the earplugs, which is like, okay, if you didn't wear earplugs, you'd be worried. Like, I wear the earplugs, and you know, I don't wear the eye patch because I like my 2-eye style. I don't use a single eye style, which is also like, okay, like just the casualness of it is just like, yep.
Yeah.
You could just imagine him walking in with like Adidas slippers and like, tracksuit and just be like...
Yeah, exactly.
I liked the...
there was that cool surfing guy, right? There was like, he was mid-air and boards off to the side or something crazy.
Yeah.
Got
There was also that,
everywhere.
I think this was synchronized swimming. There was like the Chinese pair were actually going out, and she agreed to, I think one of them agreed to marry the other, and her fiance carried her on the podium.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Well, that's really cool.
Which was like, and there's like basically the girl, the people next to her, like, because she's giving her a kiss, and they're like, the other people next to her are just like, ooh, really like, ooh, this is cool. And then there's like the one where the people were biting on their medal, and there's like the Chinese athlete going, oh, I didn't know you had to do that, and then she writes it after looking at them, which was also really cute.
Oh, that one, I remember that one, yeah. She's like, huh? Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, great. Congrats to all the athletes who have won, and also all who have, obviously the best meme, Ray Gun.
Oh yes, of course. Hilarious.
I'm not Australian, but I think that was awesome.
Yeah. I think that's a very divisive one, where some of them are like, this is just hilarious, and some people are like, oh my god, how did this happen? And I do like the fact, reading the backstory, that she basically got to pick herself. So she'd already set up the Australasian Federation for breakdancing, and then like the Australian Olympics were like, oh, breakdancing. I'm like, oh yeah, we're the federation over here, and then they got the pick. But she was, she actually is has got a master's in it or a PhD in it or whatever, and everything. So.
Having a master's or a PhD in any form of musicology or theater, like once you're post-grad in something like musicology, dramatic arts, or performance arts, your like PhD doesn't mean you actually are a good performer.
No.
It generally means you studied it as as an academic discipline.
Yeah. You know plenty about the technicalities and the history and meanings of physics. Doesn't mean you can do it.
And these are like, PhD means you produced, new research on this subject. So, it's not going to be you came up with fresh new dance moves, and that's why they gave you a doctorate.
Exactly.
It's a pity that for a potential, we know, it's not because of her, but breakdancing is not coming back for the LA games, because I quite enjoyed watching breakdancing. I like Olympic sports which are judged on aesthetics, like you have a judge actually going and judging, and because I feel like we all feel like we know what we like, and sometimes it's really obvious that this is better, and it's these guys win, and it's I don't know if you remember, there was the 2002 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City, and the Canadian figure skating team were incredible, and the Russian judge went, nah, they lost. And literally this American crowd was like, boo. And it's it's great because that this can have a genuine controversy, right? And I feel like that's what makes great content, as you and I would say in our line of work.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're right. Artistic stuff can be quite fun. It's quite fun to watch and be like, ooh, did I like that? Not, and then and trying to work out things like that as well. Like, what did you like better? Because then it's subjective a little bit, which I know sometimes it's less than ideal, because as same as that with that. The skating pair, you can get just things not going the way people like, but it makes it more interesting.
Yeah, I mean, because certain sports like gymnastics and skateboarding, for example, you're just judged on hardest trick, and you have to declare the trick you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And so how many points it's worth. So it's a bit more formalized in the judging, right? So the judges have to just accept whether you've been technically correct or whether you've done something extra aesthetically that deserves a bit more aesthetic points. So it's a bit less subjective, like, because even like people like us who don't follow figure skating can kind of be like, oh yeah, that looked like a perfect routine. I didn't see any mistakes there. Like, I'm not a judge, but you know.
Figure skating's similar though, right? There's particular moves they have to do in their routine. So there's set moves, and then there's the 3-4 ones. Yeah.
This is, it's similar now.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that for a long time.
No, it was just purely dance and health.
Well, yeah. Well, there's also ice dancing, right? And ice dancing isn't marked that way.
Well, that's what nowadays they tend to do too, right? You have the more formalized one where there's set routines in it, and then you have the ice dancing, basically. I think what they call it, the free-fall one where you get to...
Ice dancing, you're not allowed to carry your partner over your shoulder, so you're only doing dance moves, so it's all about aesthetics. And whereas figure skating is literally like, we're gonna do a triple parade, this, and it's what...
Yeah,
it's worth this.
You've got to do set moves in that one, right? You've got, you've got to do it. Wall twist or whatever, you've got certain moves you have to do, and then you can add other things in there as well for style points, but there's certain things you have to do.
But I also think like figure skating has nonsense stuff like how they banned the backflip, which is easily the most impressive trick to do as a figure skater.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it's banned. If you do it, you lose 2 points. This is like... I'm doing the jerk-off symbol with my hand in case the readers couldn't quite work that. The listeners couldn't quite work that out. Because it's such an unnecessarily wanky rule to have. Like, if you're good enough to do a backflip, you should be able to do a backflip in figure skating.
I guess it's for all the people that aren't good enough to do backflips, but think they are.
But figure skating already has heaps of injuries. It's a pretty deadly sport.
It's not like it's the most safest sport in the world. It's pretty dangerous to begin with.
There was once a figure skating guy who came out with knives and was doing a juggling act while doing figure skating.
Oh dear.
He got penalized as well, which once again, I'm doing the jerk-off symbol for that reaction. Why won't you let your sport be cool? Though I love figure skating, so I'm not...
Yeah. The judges and the committee for that, federation for that, do tend to stifle any fun time from it.
Yeah. At least with skateboarding, the judges are cool.
Yeah.
But we don't have the really, really wow... events for Olympic skateboarding, which I think is right. Like, you have only got park and street, which are the most common forms of skateboarding on the planet. Like, you don't have mega ramp, you don't have half pipe. I think realistically that makes sense. Like, there should be some reason for the X Games to exist.
Yeah, exactly. It's a different thing, right? That got the X in it for once. The actual extreme parts of it that belong in the X Games. That makes sort of sense. But the Olympic Games is for the, I don't want to say standard, but the things that everybody does. It's like these are the most popular versions of the sport. So that's what we have.
Yeah, most of us don't go to a mega ramp to practice our skating, but we can do park. We can play in a skate. We can do a skate park routine.
Exactly.
And we can do a street routine.
Yeah.
It won't be good, but we can do it.
Exactly. Olympics should be the best of the best. You shouldn't just get a gold just because you happen to be one of the few people that do that event, right? Like the X Games, it's fine. It's like you'd some really extreme edge thing and you do some massive awesome trick. You're like, no, cool, X Games gold for you, of course, because you did something awesome.
Yeah. And it would you would never see when Tony Hawk did the first 900 at the X Games on a half pipe. And but the thing was he kept trying. He did something like 18, 19 tries, but all the other competitors and the judges let him. That's the spirit of the X Games, but that wouldn't really be appropriate for the Olympic Games.
No, exactly.
And as you said, like, if we had the mega ramp, then, Tim Shah would win all the time because he's the only one who can do a 1080.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you gotta have it, the Olympic Games is about things that everybody can do. But, there is only a few people who can do it. Like, 100-meter sprint. Like, everybody can generally run, move, somehow make their way down 100 meters in some sort of time. Not necessarily a great time. It might be minutes before some people get down there, but most people would get there. But at the Olympics, you're doing it at ridiculous times. But, that's part of it, is the fact that it's something that most people could do vaguely, like they could perform that action or that task, that sport.
Yeah, I mean, I used to do some track and field. I think I managed, 200 was my preferred distance, but my 100 mark was about maybe 12, 13 seconds.
That's pretty good.
I want to say, as a 15, this is when I was actually training all the time and doing it.
Yeah.
I think Damien could probably regularly do 12.
Oh, that's
or go
good.
under, because he did track and field properly, as opposed to just during recess we would run on because we actually had a track in our school.
Nice. Yeah,
it was an old-fashioned cinder track, but it's still a track.
Still a track.
And my preferred disciplines were 200 meters and hurdles.
Nice.
Because we would just set up 110 meter hurdles every recess, and we'd just mess around, and then our PE teacher would sometimes just let us practice track and field instead of doing whatever PE lesson he had planned for us.
Yeah.
Because he's like, you guys are pretty good. If you want to do track and field, you want to do hurdles for an hour, go do hurdles. That's fine.
Yeah, no, our school didn't have anything like that. We didn't have a track. We didn't have anything. So.
Yeah. Most schools don't, but this was a really old school in Britain.
Yeah.
Well, and it had a lot of facilities that just older schools in Brunei just tended to have. Not every school in Brunei had their own track at the back of the school for people to practice in.
No, that's now.
If you have one, you'll just do it, right?
Yeah.
That's one of the. Even Massey, at least you can walk from Massey High. You can walk to Waitakere Stadium. There's a nice track there.
All right, yeah.
Next to Trust Stadium.
Yeah.
That's a track and field venue.
Yes, a little bit of a distance, but not that far, I suppose. Down the hill, right, and then along.
I mean, that used to be where we did our cross country would end.
All right.
So we ran from Massey High all the way down to...
Yeah.
Down from Waimumu Road all the way down Triangle, and then up to Central Park Drive to Waitakere Stadium.
Oh, really? Well, quite a good run. I suppose that was in the days we didn't have to worry too much about traffic on Lincoln Road then.
Yeah, this was pretty long ago. This was the 90s.
Yeah.
And also during school hours, that wasn't that big a deal.
No.
What other sports did you enjoy at the Olympics this year? Obviously we have our favorites, surfing and skateboarding.
Yeah. I mean, we mostly watched...
Basketball was great too.
It was pretty good. We mostly watched the standards, so watched the pool and the track and field stuff mostly. Watched a little bit of the gymnastics. That was always good. But we tended to watch New Zealand stuff, so we watched all the kayaking and the rowing. So it's where we pick up a lot of our stuff. So that was good. But no, the boys sort of watched stuff in the morning, so we would normally have it on in the morning and just highlights of different things. So it was sort of, there wasn't a lot of consistency. It was just whatever the boys decided was fun that day. But no, I always enjoy the track and field stuff, so it's good watching that.
Yeah, I watched the finals of the 100 meters, which was really close. But it's crazy with 100 meters, right? 2012 was the most incredible 100 meters final ever, right?
Yeah,
Literally nobody, everybody was under 10.8. And like the winning time in this year's 100 meters wasn't be good enough to be 10th in that year.
Yeah. Just crazy.
And you literally had like you had Johan Blake, you had obviously Usain Bolt, and you had Justin Gatlin, and all these like incredible runners. Like I just think about like Justin Gatlin, even though he's had a bit of a disgrace in his career because he was banned for 2 years for taking performance enhancing drugs, but he won in 2004 before Usain Bolt came around, and he literally got silver and bronze every thing after that with Usain, and he would be like this legendary sprinter who'd won 4 golds in a row if it wasn't for Usain Bolt.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that is quite funny to think of, just the quality of that time period in the 100 meters, and just how you had some ridiculously fast people and Usain Bolt just blitzing them all.
But that 2012 race, that's the world record, but he was chilling in the last step because he had the lead and was like, yeah, man.
And still broke the record, smashed the record, not even close, and just and I can just chill the last couple of steps and be like, I'm the coolest in the world. I'm going to break the record and cross the line. Just relax is all health.
Because basically, because he's got he's got 3 golds for 100 meters, 3 golds for 200 meters, and the 2 golds in the relay, and they got bronze in Beijing because the coach of the Jamaican team screwed up by not putting him in the anchor. Yeah. Because that's what they should have done.
Yes.
He was in the middle. Why would you waste Usain Bolt in the middle of the relay?
It's just, I remember that and just been like, why?
And we didn't because is he the greatest Olympic athlete? Because 100 meters, nobody had done 3 in a row, ever.
Yeah, it's
nobody,
crazy.
And I think he's the first to actually defend a 100-meter title as well, because it's just so competitive. To keep that peak for so long.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anyone else that did 2 in a row. I feel like there might have been 1 or 2 others that did it. But definitely only to do 3.
I think I remember when he broke the 200-meter world record as well, and Michael Johnson, who's one of the greatest 200-meter runners ever. Because I think Michael Johnson's record was still there from Atlanta in '96, and he was just I don't think he's gonna do really well. I don't think he's gonna break my record. And Usain just smashed it, and Michael Johnson was this guy's the greatest ever. He's so good.
Yeah, Carl Lewis did 2 in a row as well.
Oh, that's right, Carl.
One of them was Los Angeles, so given there was a few countries that boycotted it, but none of them I don't think would have.
Yeah, and Carl Lewis later on did admit to taking drugs.
Yeah.
For performance. It's it's the whole thing of Ben Johnson got his medal stripped, but Carl Lewis was just as guilty.
Yeah. I mean, during that time, you'd be surprised if any of them weren't, really, but.
Yeah.
So add that as well. On the Seoul area was technically second.
Yeah, and obviously also the tennis. We all picked Carlos Alcaraz, but Rafael Nadal showing he still has the old dog still has a bit of fight left in him.
Yeah, exactly.
Novak Djokovic, beg your pardon, showing he still has a bit of fight left in him.
Exactly.
That's because Alcaraz had been beating him in the finals, because he beat him in the French Open earlier this year in the final, which hadn't happened in ages. Djokovic losing at Roland Garros.
Yeah.
And he beat him at Wimbledon as well, so, everybody was like, Alcaraz has Djokovic's number, but he came back to gain... to get the gold over him, but Carlos is gonna have a great career as a tennis player still.
Definitely. I think Alcaraz is he's going to be the next great, right? He's very good. He'll climb and climb. So he's already top, really. So
he's already got 4 Grand Slams, right? At his age.
Is he currently number 1 or is he number 2 currently? I know he's Currently number 3 apparently.
Yeah, I think Novak Djokovic is still number 1.
Yeah. Okay. Alcaraz was number 1 earlier in the year. No, Djokovic is currently number 4. Not sure who is number 1 right now.
It must have been the guy who just recently won the U.S. Open.
Oh yeah.
Jannik Sinner?
Oh yeah, Sinner. Yeah, Jannik Sinner. Yes.
World number 1. Yep.
World number 1. That's the one. And Zverev is 2. And then Alcaraz, then Djokovic, and Mendev.
Yeah, so the next gen of the tennis players are coming back. I do enjoy watching Carlos Alcaraz as well. He's got a pretty cool sort of game.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know that I watched the semis, but I'd forgotten whether he'd won the finals.
Yeah.
Now, well,
we should talk. Forward. I was going to say we should talk about Lydia Ko winning the women's golf as well, and therefore getting into the Hall of Fame as well. So.
Well, she'd already been in the Hall of Fame because she had done enough to qualify.
No, she was 1 point off. That was the thing. She was 1 point off being the youngest inductee, and then she then she won the Summer Olympics and then won the Open straight afterwards. So she smashed it in. But yeah, that was the thing. She was 1 point off. She was 1 point off, and there had been a which tournament she was at just before the Olympics, and then she didn't win that. But she'd got if she'd won that, she would have been inducted, and then she came like 4th or something, and that was enough to still gave her enough things to get up, but not quite there. And then she won the Olympics, and that made her the youngest ever inductee into the Golfing Hall of Fame.
That's right. I was watching that final day's play. Like, I was just like, yeah, she looks like she's gonna smack it in. Like, she just looked so like she wasn't gonna lose.
No, and you can see how much it meant to her as well when she won. She was up on the stand, and now she's also, I think she's the only women's golfer to have won a bronze, silver, and gold at the Olympics Games.
Yeah, she's won a bronze, silver, and gold, and she's won a medal at every at every Olympics where there's been golf. Yeah. Because it only started at Rio, right? And she's won every time. She's won a medal. She's medaled every time.
Medaled every time. Yeah, exactly. So she's just straight up the GOAT, really. She's just showing how great she is at it. So, which is really good, but she did go through that sort of long wilderness period where she'd sort of broken through when she first went pro. She had quite a few years there doing really well, and then sort of lost her way a bit, had a bit of controversy with coaches and all the rest. But now she seems to have come out the other side and is really starting to show her full potential again.
It might be fair to say she's sort of peaking now. Yeah. Like mentally, because the mental side of golf is more important, right?
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. So I think that's pretty fair to say, is that she's now, starting to peak, especially mentally. She's found that fortitude and found that drive. Like, she showed it by just being straight up out of the Olympics and winning the Open at St Andrews, right? Just came off the biggest high, big gold, and we're like, I can still do this. I'm just super awesome.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of golfers, men or women, that tend to win a big event and then back it up by winning the next big event. Like, that's a pretty special thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I did enjoy watching the basketball finals and semi-finals. That United States versus Serbia game was incredible. For the semi-final, just unlucky that probably the two best teams met in the semis.
Yeah.
Because it was a 95-91, and and then like the final, it looked it looked like a really close game until like in the final quarter, Steph Curry shoots. When you shoot 5 threes in a row, you're gonna be pretty unstoppable.
Yeah, it is hard not to win from that.
Well, he just kept passing him the ball, and he just kept scoring. And basically, like the French commentators was like, "Le diable, Curry." It was great. He had a fantastic fight. Like, he played fantastic in the semis and the finals. Like, literally, and he was having a poor tournament leading up. LeBron James, MVP, deservedly so.
Yeah.
Obviously captain of the team, and he like performed in literally every game. Like, averaged like 10 rebounds and 20 points every game. And Kevin Durant, like, also right up there. I have to mention my son's guys, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, playing really well.
Yeah.
But because we also have 3 versus 3 in basketball, the Netherlands getting a basketball medal, and France getting silver in both 3 versus 3 and in men's and men's 3 versus 3 and the men's 5v5. We're also getting the silver in the women's, because the U.S. women's team won. After all the controversy, they still won. They won the gold, like everybody expected they would. Caitlin Clark or no Caitlin Clark. So I think it would have been fun to have Caitlin Clark at the tournament.
Yeah.
Enjoy watching her play. And then we had the and then the 3 versus 3, the women's 3 versus 3 won by Germany.
Yeah.
I like watching 3 versus 3 games. It's always kind of fun. Played on a half court.
Yeah.
With it feels like it's how the streets play basketball.
I didn't actually manage to see any of it, which is a bit of a pity. But no, I've heard good things about it as well. But it's quite fun. So.
The other one, did you catch any of the football at the Olympics?
Oh, a little bit here and there, but not a huge amount of it.
Yeah, there's just always some interesting teams in the Olympics. Uzbekistan, Zambia.
Yeah.
I think they were making their debut. Guinea played as well. But yeah, no surprise to anyone. Spain won the men's gold, and you have Yamina Lamal and Nico Collins to call up for your team.
Exactly. Like, it's hard not to do that when you've got such great players ready to play.
Yeah. And the women's one won by United States. Once again, it's like traditionally what we'd expect.
Yeah.
Led by Trinity Rodman, daughter of Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great tournament. It was kind of overshadowed by the Euros, but yeah, Spain won both. This showing like they're a force to be reckoned with. The 2020s.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
Both men's and women's, because they're also the women's world champions.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, the rugby sevens.
Yeah. Oh, that was good.
The Black Ferns obviously continue to do us proud and going on to win gold. And unfortunately, the men did not medal. France winning the tournament, getting that medal, and Fiji getting the silver.
Yeah.
I think Fiji has also medaled in every rugby seven. The men's team, anyway, have medaled in every rugby sevens.
Yeah, I think they have. If I remember correctly, they must have.
Yeah, because I know they won 2016, obviously.
Yeah, and then they came silver. Yeah, they came runner-up 2020 to New Zealand, right?
Yep.
And then runner-up this time as well.
Sevens rivalry, right? New
Zealand
Zealand
exactly.
versus Fiji.
Exactly.
Oh no, 2020 they won gold, and New Zealand women's won. So New Zealand women have always won gold at the sevens.
Yeah.
New Zealand men's have never won gold. So
Did they
Fiji
not?
were gold, silver.
Oh, gold, silver. Right. Yes.
Which seems about right. It's like, it's Fiji. It's rugby sevens.
Exactly.
It's how you expect it to go.
Yeah. Exactly. It's rugby sevens. That's Fiji's game, right?
Exactly. And looking forward, we've got our next games are going to be in Los Angeles, and then after that 2032 in Brisbane. We've got a bunch of sports to look forward to. They have already announced that to skateboarding, sports climbing, and surfing are now part of the core events.
Oh, nice.
So they will stay on for a while. And I think great, because climbing is such a popular sport in the world, and everywhere in the world, right? Like,
Actually, I saw a couple of that as well. I saw they had a New Zealander doing the climbing. So I watched her at Paris get absolutely annihilated by whoever it was that she was climbing against. But it was, you say, it's quite an entertaining sport, and it's clearly very fun. So, and the crowds there seem to really get into it. So.
Yeah, and a bunch of sports are gonna boxing and modern pentathlon and weightlifting had been provisionally removed due to governance issues.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it says here that modern pentathlon and weightlifting were reinstated, but boxing is still not having an Olympics without boxing. Come on, even the ancient games had boxing.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it does appear as though boxing's not on it at the moment.
Yeah, I'm sure that show jumping is going to be replaced with an obstacle course. What? Oh, for pentathlon. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. I mean, the horse part is the most dangerous part of pentathlon, because it has to be a horse you're not familiar with.
All right, yes.
And, that is dangerous.
Very dangerous.
So they've made a bunch... Okay, so it's going to be an obstacle course race. Okay, that's actually kind of cool. I like that idea for modern pentathlon.
That is pretty cool, yeah.
It kind of doesn't make the part, because the whole point of modern pentathlon is meant to be a soldier behind enemy lines who can fire a gun, fence with a sword, can swim across a river, ride a horse they're not familiar with, and run back to their side.
Back to their side, yeah, it makes sort of sense. But I guess in this case the obstacle is like getting through barbed wire and no man's land?
Probably.
Yeah.
The 2028 games will feature the debut of flag football and squash as optional sports.
Ooh.
And the return of baseball/softball.
Yeah.
Boo, girls should just play baseball.
Yeah, exactly.
Softball can have its own thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And cricket, back for the first time since 1900, and lacrosse, back for the first time since 1908.
Oh, nice. That's good, yeah. That's exciting in both cases, right?
Yeah. I mean, baseball, softball, be competitive, especially since the World Baseball Classic's been so competitive.
Yeah.
We'd love to see Shohei Ohtani win a medal for Japan. Or Mike Trout do one for the USA. I don't know who the cool athletes in lacrosse are, but, I expect the Canadians and the Americans are both quite good at the sport. And cricket at the Olympic Games.
Nice.
It's long overdue. It's been resisted by cricket boards around the world, but the Olympics wants to be big in India.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
I couldn't imagine why.
Yeah,
but I hope for some Black Caps gold there, just because.
Yeah, of course.
I wouldn't have a good shot of it, so it's good.
Yeah, the West Indies are going to be broken up into different teams.
Oh, really?
The Irish, obviously different countries, as are Ireland and England.
Yeah.
Well, England will have a bit of Ireland in there. So the UK team will have a bit of England, and Ireland will only be allowed to have Republic of Ireland players on their team. So cricket has a bunch of hybrid countries. So whenever people go on about the West Indies should each individual country should blah blah blah, I'm like, yeah, shut up. You know nothing about cricket.
Exactly.
There's like Ireland and England as well, who are hybrid countries in cricket.
Yeah, exactly.
Because England's actually England and Wales.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my TED talk about.
I don't think, talking of the hybridization, in the rugby sevens they do the same thing? So the Ireland team, the rugby sevens, has to only be the Republic of Ireland, as opposed to the.
It has to. Yeah. The Republic. Yeah, the Irish team has to be the Republic of Ireland, and the Northern Irish players have to play for the UK.
Yeah.
I suppose the way you get around that is that Northern Ireland people have the right to Irish citizenship, and vice versa, people from the South have the right to UK citizenship.
Yeah. So they could always just switch and change their citizenship as they need.
Yeah, exactly right. As part of the Good Friday Agreement. So most people from Northern Ireland still qualify to play for the Irish Olympic team.
Alright, that's okay then.
So I don't think that makes as big a difference. But obviously, the UK team would be Scotland, England, and Wales, at least.
At least, yeah.
I'm sure there might be some very patriotic Northern Irish people who want to play for the UK versus playing for Ireland.
Yeah. But I get the feeling that the English cricket team will the UK cricket team be mostly the English cricket team, so.
Yeah, you never know. There might be a Scottish player here.
Yeah.
And there. I don't see too many Welsh people making it, but you never know. Remember Gareth Bale played for the UK football team when they had to have a UK football team for the London Games in 2012?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Gareth Bale and Craig Bellamy, and Ryan Giggs.
Oh, yes.
Who was captain.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was awesome.
Yeah. To be interesting. And flag football too.
Yeah.
Which will be a fun idea. I don't see it going any further than this Olympics. With flag football being available, this will be in the next Olympics, but I don't think it'll go on in Brisbane. There has been some rumors that rugby league is going to try and be in the Brisbane Olympics in 2032.
Yeah. That could be pretty cool.
I mean, or even just nines.
Yeah. Yeah, actually nines could be quite fun.
Yeah. Though, they should just always have the nines in Auckland. I don't know why they moved the venues to other places.
Yeah, I don't know either.
It was actually popular here.
It was, yeah. They were chasing some other money somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah. True that. But I think, it'll be interesting to see in how they play out. The Olympics last time in Los Angeles is they held it in 1984 and actually made a profit.
Oh yeah, no, I remember reading about that, which is quite amazing.
And the mayor of Los Angeles was Time Man of the Year because of what he had pulled off, because they basically used a bunch of college venues because UCLA and USC both have good athletics programs. They could just use their venues, and they used the Coliseum in Los Angeles to host a bunch of games. So there is no reason that an LA Games couldn't come under budget. And part of thing about LA is that we are not going to listen to the, like, part of their pitch was like, we're not going to listen to a bunch of your nonsense, Olympic Committee, and we're just gonna follow our similar program to what we had done in 1984.
Yeah.
And to make it, to basically make it as cost effective as possible. Because it's crazy that they made because LA showed the blueprint, and like almost immediately cities stopped doing what LA did, because like by the time the 92 Olympics in Barcelona had happened, they just broke even, and Atlanta lost money. But because so many cities started bidding, because cities had stopped bidding for the Olympics because the Montreal Olympics cost so much. They called the Canadians called it the Big O, OWE.
Yeah.
And Los Angeles basically was like, we're the only people bidding, and everybody's like, okay, we'll have it here. And they're like, you don't have any choice, you have to just listen to what we say. And they did a bunch of, they did a lot of stuff that was like, still good venues and everything, but they, they could do it cheaper without having to build a bunch of infrastructure. Apparently, and even like stuff like they're gonna have to build a proper cricket stadium. That's being built by the KKR, as in the Knight Riders group.
The Knight Riders, yeah.
Because they need one anyway. For Major League Cricket. Because the Los Angeles Knight Riders are gonna need one. And I guess they might. And they're gonna use UCLA campus for the Olympic Village, which is like, that saves so much money.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, the city owns a university hostel. You guys can stay here.
Yeah. What a smart thought.
Yeah.
I see that's what they did in 1984 as well, right? And they just put it in the UCLA campus, and like, makes a lot of sense.
They're gonna have the aquatics at SoFi Stadium and artistic swimming in Long Beach, at the historic and diving in the Los Angeles Swim Stadium, which was built in 1932. So they've reused this venue from 1932. Like, how good is that?
Yeah. That's their whole plan, right? Is just, what do we already have? Use that. Don't build new shit. Just use what we have.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. They say that's the smart way of doing it, right? That way you don't have to spend millions upon millions building new shit. You can just use what you've got, and then it doesn't bankrupt the city.
No new permanent venues are being built specifically for the games.
Yeah.
So they've just got a bunch of sports parks, I guess, for like the fan zones and stuff, which, fair enough. They're not that expensive, and like, you can maybe use them again, like if they turn out to be really good. We still have the cloud in our city. We don't know what to do with it, but it exists.
Exactly. It sits there. Occasionally they're like, we could do an event here.
Yeah. Yeah, and like, so SoFi Stadium is hosting swimming. And the Coliseum, like, obviously that's like such a historic venue. It's hosted 1932, 1984, and will do 1928. Like, so there's a good chance Los Angeles could actually come under budget. Like, make a quote-unquote profit.
Yeah,
and like, they're even doing a bunch of sports in other places. Like, apparently they're doing softball and canoe slalom in Oklahoma City, in Oklahoma, instead of building new venues in Los Angeles.
Yeah. Just doing it smart, right? It's, what can we host here? What can't we host? Is there somewhere nearby that could host it? Oh look, yes, we'll just move it over there. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like that.
Yeah, it looks like they've done... Because even sports like handball, which are not popular in the US and stuff, you can just do that in like an indoor arena.
Yeah.
Like it exists at like a college venue.
And they've hosted 2 Olympics, one of which I'm sure, at least one of which I'm sure have had handball
Yeah,
in it, like
exactly.
in 1984.
Yeah.
And also, they should have our handball as an Olympic sport.
Yeah, exactly.
You have 9s, you should have rows, and you should have 1v1.
Yeah. Oh, that would be awesome.
And 9s should all be like, who can stay, you score points by being the king, right?
Yeah, exactly. So every round that you're the king, you get a point. So period of time.
And
most points
obviously
win.
every game only lasts 20 minutes because that's how long recess is.
Yeah, exactly. That would be very awesome. They should do that, 100%.
I was like, the great cricketer, Higgos was saying, I think we should all, every city in Australasia should just have recess every day at this is how you reinvigorate the cities. You have recess every day at 12 o'clock at the same time. Everybody stops working and goes out, and the police officers should just walk around with their hands behind their back like teachers. People should just play handball or hacky sack.
Yeah.
Some of us are playing Magic the Gathering on the benches, whatever,
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool.
But all we're doing is having recess, like a city downtown-wide recess, and then we go back to work.
You cannot have your lunchtime in your office. You have to go outside.
Yeah.
Because it's a rainy day, but then you get a shortened lunch break and 3 rings of the bell or something, and then you stay inside.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, not allowed. But you weren't allowed in classrooms. You're not allowed in the office. You have to get outside.
So, I think it'll be pretty cool. I look forward to seeing how LA works out. I could imagine Brisbane also going kind of under budget.
Be interesting to see with Brisbane.
Because they do have a lot of the venues already there as well.
Yeah.
So they are building an arena, and it's slated to house most of the aquatics. But it's not like Australia's going to stop watching swimming after the Olympics.
I think they'll be fine with the Olympic quality swimming arena.
Yeah. Okay, there is some controversy. Apparently there's going to be they think there's going to be a bunch of overpriced stadiums instead of good value for the thing. So it'd be a pity if LA was to come in under budget again and reinvigorate the movement, and it immediately lose all that goodwill.
Yeah, it looks like they're sort of trying to sort it out in Brisbane. So there's a debate going on between you and remodeling.
I mean,
so we see interesting how it goes.
Yeah, it's interesting that Los Angeles can pretty much host. I think it would be interesting. What if Los Angeles just hosted it all the time? It would just always be under budget.
Yeah.
Every 4 years.
That's
I
another
almost
thing,
don't
right?
mind.
It's have it at a city, and it's they've got the facilities, so we just always go there. Well, it could be 3 or 4 cities, and they just go around those ones, right?
Yeah, any city where there's but the thing is, there's no schools like USC, UCLA that have such a wide athletics program that is popular in their university. They'll just have one. They'll have a gym. They have a good gymnastics, gymnastics arena. They have a good They have good probably places to play handball and other sports that are not necessarily popular. You'll have good climbing arenas in LA.
No, I think LA would be really good like that. I'm just thinking you could technically sort that out and just so LA doesn't do it every 4 years, they do it every 8 years and then somewhere else. But opposed to different cities all the time who then have this infrastructure and can't do anything. Just this city, LA, Paris, somewhere else, or something like that, and you just go between them all the time.
Yeah.
To make sure that people aren't going, oh, it's always LA, blah 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 blah. Okay, there's one here.
I mean, I mean, it was always at Olympia for 1,500 years.
Yeah, exactly. Certainly speaking, having it in one place is fine.
Yeah. I'm not opposed to it. I can see people complain, but also, like, if it's in one place, that place becomes... LA is, like, got a great airport for you to just all go there.
Yeah.
You just get LAX. And, like, I don't know why Americans complain about LAX. It's fine. It's, like, as an airport, it's nice. Like, the interior, like, they're like, oh, you have to queue for so long. And I was like, that's every American airport. What are you know, when you're traveling international, what are you guys...
international travel.
Yeah. And, like, it's like, traveling to America has issues, like TSA. It can be annoying and long, but you're like, but that's everywhere. It's not just LA.
No. Once again, that's international travel in America.
Yeah, and like, well, domestic travel has TSA too in America.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to deal with it regardless.
Yeah.
And then, like, as far as like there are long queues, and it might be longer in LA than, but as a New Zealander, like, what are my choices? Houston, yeah, that also has long queues. San Fran, okay, maybe that one has less. New York has long queues, like they're all, and O'Hare, which has got pretty long queues as well.
Yeah.
But when you're doing international travel, you just go, yeah, it'll take me a couple of hours to get out of the airport. That's unfortunately standard sometimes. Like, you might luck out and it's only half an hour.
Yeah, exactly. It depends a little bit when you land, and sometimes coming from New Zealand you get some decent landing times where there's not these other ones coming in, because it's sort of just whatever they can get.
The immigration part is quick for New Zealand because you do it in New Zealand.
Yeah.
When you go to America, like, they check your ESTA and everything in New Zealand.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like, because it's got its own, like, Auckland Airport at least has its own terminal. For, like, not its own terminal, but a wing for, American flights.
Yeah, I knew what you mean.
Yeah, and when you go there, like, before you get onto the place where you get to the gate, they're just like, here, can we check your ESTA? Can we check your passport? Done. We'll tell people at, your airport destination that we've checked you out, you're all good. And we're like, okay. And usually, like, when they come, they're just like, you go, see you back,
Oh, that's real good.
So, that part is not the issue. It's basically queuing to get your... like, going out is not the issue. Going in is not the issue. It's the going out where you're like, you have to queue to get through to the international gate, and then get your bags checked in and go through TSA, blah blah blah. That's the long queues. Yeah,
no, that's good. Yeah, the one time I flew in LAX way back, that was a long queue to get in, but that was not long after 9/11 and everything. So. Yeah. It was doing its own thing. Yeah, that was the fun of walking down long corridors with very heavily armed security guards looking at you in not very fun ways.
Yeah, I imagine that wasn't fun.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, but yeah, it was just, you get off the plane and you very much go here and wait in this big room, and then there's like 3 people that are going to check everybody.
Yeah. And like, so like I said, I wouldn't mind if assuming Los Angeles can actually pull off doing it for cheap. Next time I'm just be like, guys, just have it at LA every
just keep
time.
It there, yeah. They can actually do it and make a little bit of money. So it's, if you keep taking around and bankrupting cities and countries, then nobody else is going to want it anyway. So it'll end up just being at places that already hold it. They already have the infrastructure.
Yeah, other than countries that want to sports wash, nobody's gonna want to host the summer games if it's always gonna.
Yeah, exactly.
You can have the winter games somewhere as well. That's like, this is the place that hosts the winter games because it consistently gets snow. Because that's just gonna be harder and harder to find.
Exactly.
As the century progresses.
Exactly.
I'm sure things will go just fine, and there'll be no controversies in LA 2028.
I'm sure there'll be nothing. It'll be fine.
I'm sure New Zealand will also improve on their medal tally.
Yeah. And then I look forward to the SA Brisbane 2032, and hopefully that's all nice, and then even maybe we could get over and watch.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when we had Sydney just down the road.
Yeah.
But I think that's all we have time for today.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for listening, and we look forward to hearing from you next time.
Catch you next time.
Well, that is the end. Thanks for listening all the way through.
If you liked what you heard, we have even more. 9642 Discord and a Buy Me a Coffee.
Pretty sure it's Buy Me a Beer.
Oh yeah, buy me a beer on buymeacoffee.com.
In both these places, you can talk to us, and we may even listen, especially if you do buy a said beer or coffee. I might still be confused.
Yes, we're easily bribed. All links are in the show notes below.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
This is on YouTube.